These two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
4:25 p.m. Kirk Cousins is a totally different human being. It's an imposter. Who is that?
It's funny though, man. Like that.
He's awful.
The Vikings. What a fraud the Vikings are. When does a great team ever lose like that at home?
I mean, it's hard to argue. There have been some examples, but it is hard to argue. This is Mackey and Judd, daily Minnesota sports, entertainment, therapy, speculation, and Randy in Cottage Grove. You can find him on Twitter at RandyVikes69. Is the biggest, most passionate Vikings fan we know. He has come on this show throughout the years and correctly nailed multiple Vikings draft picks in advance with his mock draft work. Randy, how are you coping here a couple days after one of the worst beatdowns in Vikings history?
Numb. Numb is a good word. There was no effort, as far as I could tell. We didn't get one touchdown shot. If you look at the scoreboard, figure that out. Not one.
Yeah. So you're probably pretty stone cold sober on Sunday night, going home from the game for the first time in a while.
No. No. In fact, matter of fact, the old Randy said, "I'm going to get this bar going," and I ran him out of Yag.
Oh, man,
all right.
They ran out.
That's what they call compounding one bad decision with another. Right.
You still drunk right now?
No, Jeff, you got what you do is you kind of make a good healthy maintenance buzz and get through it. Still not back at work, so what I have is a lot of time and a lot of time to look inward, figure out what the hell happened.
Actually, speaking of this, before we get to the dud stable here, it's only the second dud stable of the season because they've only lost twice. We do have Thanksgiving on the horizon. Do you have any thoughts on, I guess two questions for you. One, are you a drinksgiving guy? Are you a big get after it on the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving? And then two, in addition to your Vikings dud stable, I'd be down for a little Thanksgiving food stud stable of some kind. I'm kind of putting you on the spot with that. I know you probably haven't put much thought into it, but
no, we do like to eat. We have a good time. And as far as do we do drinking on a Wednesday, is it a day that ends in a Y? And the answer is apparently yes. So we get after it. We don't need an excuse. A lot of amateurs go out, New Year's Eve, Drinksgiving, whatever you want to call it. Sure, we'll be out too, and we'll be there after they leave.
Wow. Okay.
It's maintenance. It's all about now. How do you maintain the buzz without crossing the line though early and therefore passing out by, let's say, 11 o'clock?
I don't pass out, Jeff. What I do is just I keep my eye on the ball. Keep my eye on the prize of getting a good buzz in the air and sustaining it for 12, 16, 18 hours.
But you don't mix in a water at all, like at any point? Like
you can have a water if you're thirsty. I prefer light beer, but you can have a water. That's fine. I mean, and when you want to talk about Thanksgiving, on the day itself, we're doing bloodies at 9 a.m. and we go from there.
Yeah. What's the one? Okay, you get one food item on Thanksgiving and only one. What's the food item?
The giblets.
The what?
I like the giblets. Yeah, you take them. There's most people throw them out, but they're good. It's like the little, all the little. Sometimes different people call them sweetbreads. You can kind of batter them up, kind of like a pan fry, like a shore lunch. Wow. Batter them up and fry them up. I'll take those. If matter of fact, I have friends who know if you're not going to use your giblets, give them to Randy.
They'll just stick them out on their front porch for you to stop by and get the giblets?
Well, they're preparing their bird, and a lot of times people either take it out or leave the giblets in when you cook it, then take it out and toss it. I said, don't toss that. That's a good item, and you can do a lot of good, cool stuff with it. It's savory. It's good. It's that people go have your green beans and all that. I'll eat all that too, but I'll be living high on the hog, as they say, with the giblets from a lot of folks that I know who give them to me.
Not sure I need anyone coming to my house and asking about my giblets, but
I didn't see the
Living high on the hog. I like that too.
giblets coming as the food of choice, but
You haven't tried it, Jeff.
yeah,
They're delicious.
Yeah, I think you got a
Do
little,
it up like a
little
shore
something
lunch.
to try on Thursday there.
We will get little flour batter fries, shore lunch. They're delicious.
Okay, that's great. All right, we will get to the Dud
you
Stable
did ask
here.
the question, Phil. It's your fault.
I'm sorry. Today's Dud Stable from our friend Randy in Cottage Grove is presented by a new partner here on Mackey and Judd. Judd was there last night, tipping a couple Surleys back at Park Tavern in St. Louis Park.
Yes, I was.
The masses of Mackey and Judd and Purple Daily fans just walking up one by one, looking to talk to Sports Dad. Yeah. You've partaken, Randy.
It's a great spot, yeah.
Not lately. It's a little far away when you don't have a vehicle, but that's a good place. Half that bar though is I think a Packer bar, which is unfortunate. But unless you like the Packers.
I think it's actually very fortunate this year because you can just kind of go and make fun of Packer fans.
Well, that's true.
All these games.
That's true. Tell them that they can. By the way, they can all kiss my rump.
Figured as much. All right, let's talk about Park Tavern, though. 42 years in business, located on Louisiana Avenue, South St. Louis Park, and Phil is exactly right. I was there last night at the bar talking to folks, watching the football game, and in fact, I think we're going to try to put together a little impromptu get-together again this coming Monday, which might even involve good old Mackadac stopping by.
It's no longer impromptu because you just said it a week beforehand.
Well, I'm not guaranteeing anything yet. I'm not guaranteeing it yet. What I'm saying is
we're going to plan an impromptu gathering in 6 days from now at this specific time.
But you never know. Anyway, Park Tavern also a great place to hold your fantasy league drafts, your parties. You know what, guys? If your wife has a birthday coming up, Park Tavern is the ideal place to call and set up that party. They can host parties of all sizes. Of course, they've also got bowling as well. And yes, on Sundays, they do have a back bar, just to be very clear, Randy, a back bar that will show the Packers game. But the front bar is all, as Phil knows, it's all Vikings fans. 952-929-6810 or go to parktavern.net to check out all the offerings our new friend Park Tavern. And also, remember, when you support our sponsors, you support our show, which you guys do a great job of. We appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
Pretty cold yag, from what I recall.
Okay. Well, maybe we can have you do
keep the yag cold.
Some yag power rankings around some different places. So, all right. Well, Randy, the Vikings lost for the second time. Usually you do stud stables around here, but since they lost, it's time for the dud stable.
All right. This is an unfortunate thing to have to do. But in this case, I can't even say we were competitive. It was a from the top to the bottom, from the ownership all the way down to the guy who does the jocks. Everybody failed. So let's just go. Okay, a lot of these guys, they might be relieved to know they think they're not going to appear in the stable. They're all going to appear in it from the both trenches. So right now, you don't even deserve to have your name read. If you're a member of the offensive line or the defensive line for the Minnesota Vikings, you're a dud.
Yeah, hard to disagree with that.
Yeah,
They
whole
definitely
group
got blown away in the trenches during that game.
The whole group, and the guy who backed up Darisaz, just get him a one-way ticket out of town. That Illinois kid on the practice squad's got a better shot.
They should give the Illinois kid on the practice squad a shot.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
Next up, a guy who a lot of people want to say he didn't have any time. What do you want him to do? He couldn't get to the top of his drop. Then run. Then use your legs, Kirko. What happened to the swagger, the moxie, the crotch chop guy, the guy who says the MFers? He just kind of disappeared. Stood there with his grimace on his face. You might have gotten sacked 7 times, but you got the grimace on your face again. Use your little legs. Go for it. You got a 6-pack. You got to have some wheels. Kirko, look, time to come back because this Kirk guy, he's a dud. Kirk Cousins, you're a dud.
Yeah, I think when I think of solutions and how the Vikings could have maybe been more competitive in that game, I think you're right. Kirk Cousins running more would have helped them quite a bit.
Get on your horse. Get out of there. What do you think Justin Fields would do? He starts scrambling.
That's true. That is. I think it's Kirk's unwillingness to run is what separates him and Justin Fields in the rushing yard category. Yeah.
Andrew Booth Jr. We believed in you. We took you in a big spot in the draft. You know, a lot of people say Booth Jr. That was a reach. I said, no, this guy's got it. He's got what it takes. And you just watch. He's gonna be a long-time stud. Well, not this day. Booth, you got to look in the mirror. You got a lot of things to figure out in this league, and one of the main things you got to figure out is how to play up, get in a guy's face and be nasty. Andrew Booth Jr., you're a dud.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
Here comes a super dud, a guy who I love. Near romantically, you could say. And this
Wow.
is KOC. He's a guy
When you
who
say near romantically, what?
just
Do I
near.
dare it? Okay.
KOC, we love you. You've done a lot of great things, but whatever game plan you had going there, there was no pivot. I mean, you got to figure out a way. Run the ball. Look what Green Bay's. They're awful, and they beat Dallas. So KOC, I hate to do this to you because we love you. We really do. But this week, you're a super dud.
You think there's anyone in the universe that loves Mike McCarthy near romantically?
Mm-mm.
Any Cowboys fans out there? No.
No.
And finally, as I said, it starts at the top. And I want to do a direct pipeline right now to the ownership of this team.
Wow.
Ziggy Wilf, Mark Wilf, the other Wilf.
Lenny.
You excuse me?
Lenny Wilf.
Yeah, okay, Lenny. You guys take a look across that sideline, up in that box. Little guy by the name of Jerry Jones. Jerry's like what we call a hands-on owner. He gives a damn. And you can't come in the locker room, Ziggy, and do your little dance when it's going well and not go in there and light their asses up after a game like that. You got to go in there, Ziggy, and you got to light their asses up. And he didn't do it. He didn't have the stones to face down those men. Face down KOC, face down the Jockwash kid, whoever they are, anyone on there, look them in the eye and say 40-3. That's not what we call a representative effort from professionals. So Ziggy, take a page out of some good owners' books and get ready to get nasty. Get ready to go in that locker room and chew some asses out because you didn't, and for that you are super duper dud.
And he's gone. He's gone. There's your dud stable. After a Vikings season. How do you guys feel about? Do you think the Wilfs should be more hands? Should they be doing press conferences outside the locker room after every game like Jerry Jones does?
Oh, thank God they don't.
Oh yeah.
Should they be doing regular radio hits with the local? Doesn't Jerry Jones go on with local Dallas radio every week? Should he? I feel like Ziggy should go on with like Dan Cole or something on KFXN. And just flesh it out for like 15 minutes every single week.
You know what? Actually, that would be fun. Not gonna lie, it'd be a must listen. But I'm glad he does it.
Oh my God. We can transition into some. So usually we do Feedback Friday, and we aren't going to do that on Friday because we're going to just react to the game. So we figured let's do Feedback Friday on a Tuesday here across our two shows. And this is probably a good segue because Randy kind of mentioned. You know, where was the Kirk that we know and love? Where was the Kirk that puts the team on his back, right? That comes back from the dead in the second half. So Donovan Germain chimes in here via the Score North app. This loss is definitely on Kirk Cousins, but not for what you think. It's no coincidence he refused to don the chains after the Buffalo win. And the winning streak was immediately snapped in horrible fashion. Kirk effectively banished Kirko chains back to wherever he came from, and I doubt we will ever see him again this year. Maybe never see him ever again.
Again.
He was very adamant after
this.
the peak chains moment.
Yeah, you're
against
right.
The Commanders.
I think we've
he said,
the limit or whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. He said we can't. Basically, we can't be putting this stuff out on social media. What happens on the plane stays on the plane. And
he fought the fun.
Were like, yeah, his teammates were like, all right, I mean, okay, whatever, dude. I guess we'll give him to Patrick Peterson.
He fought the fun. You can't fight the fun. You got to have fun with the fun. Oh, I love that.
Is there a vibes problem here now? The Vikings vibes were so great, and now they just got beat 40-3, and Kirko Chains has
gone.
Kind of said, I'm just not. This isn't me. I'm not feeling this anymore.
You know what? This is a good one. I got to give this some more thought. But yeah, if Chains has left the building, we got trouble.
Why wouldn't he just keep leaning into it? Why not don the chains after the Buffalo win?
I don't know. And that's the thing is, like, they were acting like, well, if we don't exceed what we did after the Washington win, then we shouldn't do the same thing with Kirk. It's like, no, the whole thing is Kirko Chains. Like, just keep doing Kirko Chains. So, like, it's not like you need to add more chains now. Like, they perfected it in Washington, coming home, right? Yeah. And then after the wins, like the Buffalo win, Peterson donned the chains, but that's not as much fun as Kirko Chains. So I love this point.
It's only fun if there's kind of a nerdy player that ordinarily wouldn't wear chains or something, right?
Well, and Peterson, I mean, he wore the chains and looked great, but that's not like he's not nerdy. Yeah, he's not nerdy. He's not uncomfortable at all.
Does Kirk maybe feel like it's like, yeah, we're all kind of laughing together, but you're also laughing at me because I have a tucked in white T-shirt into my black sweatpants?
Yes, but don't you have to lean into that?
I'm taking my shirt off, and you guys are kind of shocked that I'm as strapped as I am. You guys were a little taken aback at my physique, and you're mostly just like laughing at me. Maybe he felt like they were poking fun at him.
He probably did, but that's the whole point of it. Like, you should have fun when people. It's not like it's super mean spirited, right?
No, it was a celebration.
I mean, I get mocked at times. I don't care. It's funny. Laugh along with it.
Yeah. It's something to think about. It's something to think about. If he's denying the fun in the locker room, you guys are blaming Kirk. Well, if he's going to play fun police, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
To be very, very clear, we still aren't huge Kirk fans. We are huge Kirko Chains fans.
That's correct. Yeah. There's Steve Urkel and there's Stefan Urkel.
Yes,
okay?
Thank you.
I think the audience knows that Stefan Urkel is the guy that he gets the dates, okay?
Yes.
Although Steve Urkel, spoiler alert, wound up actually at the end of the Family Matters, wound up getting, was it Laura Winslow, I think was her name?
Mm-hmm. I was just going to start to watch the whole thing today, and now you've
It's a great show.
It's a great show.
Hello.
Family Matters. Did I do that? Tim Haskell says the Cowboys game was like Tetris on high skill level. The blocks are coming fast, and you can't afford many mistakes. At first, you're trying to be methodical and organized, carefully placing shapes in preparation to score big when the right block shows up. You blow it once, and the stack gets higher, and your reaction time and margin for error shrink. I'm getting anxiety. I used to play Tetris as a kid, and it made me anxious. It's just like, oh, the music's getting faster. Oh, my God, it's getting higher. The Hawkinson touchdown would have been a Tetris and kept us in the game. The field goal just bought a little more time. Ultimately, the blocks just started falling too fast with no way to get back to anything manageable. Sometimes early mistakes make such a mess, and there's no way to salvage the game. I love this analogy. Mm-hmm. It was like they had a chance with that Hawkinson play. Oh, we're going to take the big, long block and, boom, like wipe out 4 rows. And instead it like turns sideways at the last second and oh no, God.
Yeah, it's perfect. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see here. David Goldiger chimes in. Phil Judd and Declan, you guys all act like a loss like this doesn't piss the team off and that they don't care, and it drives me crazy. Like they were trying to lose or wanted to lose. I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't know.
With most teams and players, no one cares more than they do. Bleep happens. Terrible game, and they have all owned it 100%. So you guys need to move on. But I know that's not how you guys work. You built a base of angry Vikings fans and have the negative fans and give the negative fans a place to bitch and gripe and moan. Yes, Vikings Vent Line, right after every Vikings game on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. The most fan-friendly, interactive, and therapeutic show in all of Minnesota sports. David continues, nice work. You should be proud of yourselves. When one of you is good enough and skilled enough to get a national job, let me know.
What's his
Okay,
email?
then.
I'll let him know. I'll just CC him now. I'll just do that right now.
Your thoughts on David Goldigger's criticism?
When did we say the players didn't care? Like I've said that previously after bad defeats when I thought that they didn't care, but I don't think we even broached that this time. So I don't really know what he's talking about beyond the fact that he's mad at the team. And you know what? We're a place for sports therapy, so it's fine. But David, look inside yourself right now and understand you're taking out your anger and rage
That's what's happening.
on the people that you're looking at on the screen right now, and we are here to help you.
You're
This
lashing out at your therapist.
This is an intervention. I need you to sit down. I need you to realize what you just did. And look, everybody likes you, but nobody likes what you just did. Okay?
Yes, the action is separate from the person here, and we are going to recognize that in you, David. You're a good person, and people like you.
And you're a great fan, but let other fans process like they want to.
And stop lashing out at your Minnesota
therapist.
sports therapist.
Yeah,
We are
therapy's
your
important.
friend here. We are
Therapy,
your
like
friend.
you know what if you want to dial back your therapy, let us decide that for you. You can't really make that call yet. I think it sounds like you need consistent therapy before maybe you want to dial back some of that therapy.
By the way, have you guys seen? I guess this is probably more of a Declan question because I think I know the answer from Judd. But on Netflix, Jonah Hill put together an 1.5-hour documentary where he interviews his therapist. He's one of the. He's a world-renowned. It's called Stutz. His name is Phil Stutz.
It's on
He's a
haven't watched
world-renowned therapist.
Netflix?
Yes,
Oh, I got to watch this.
it's
I had no idea.
outstanding. It's a little. I mean, it's not. It's funny at parts because they go and they make jokes, but it's mostly just like it's mostly in black and white, and it's just those two guys in a room talking to each other.
So is that
really
where the story, because I saw this on Twitter yesterday, about McLovin being cast opposite Hill came from? So it turns out,
Probably.
It's super bad.
yeah, because McLovin, the guy that played him, Jonah Hill couldn't stand him because I guess he mocked Hill like privately in front of Judd Apatow and stuff.
Okay.
And so Judd purposely cast him because Hill hated him because he knew that for on-screen scenes it would actually work. It's genius.
It's Judd's referencing the scene where McLovin literally brings the ID, the fake ID that says McLovin, and Jonah Hill is like, I just thought it was just those two dudes shooting the breeze being actors. No, he is legitimately upset that his name is McLovin, and that's the ID. Like, that wasn't just an acting. That was truly hatred of like, what the hell are you doing? This is not going to work. It's pretty funny. It's good stuff.
He also talks about how
Wow, I gotta see this.
his mom trying to get him to lose weight when he was a kid impacted. He then thought that like every woman that he ever met would think he was fat, which like, yeah, like you were large for long, but there's a lot of really good stuff in there. If you're interested in Jonah Hill, or if you're just interested in like how to unlock certain parts of your brain.
But we're here to help our guy,
Yes.
Dave, right?
David Goldigger, yes.
David, we're here to help you.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So,
I'm sorry.
anyhow, okay.